In every lottery player's fantasy,
We won $315 million.
for most lucky winners, instant wealth delivers the dream life.
My parents don't have to work that much. They're retired.
When people come out here, first thing they do is go, wow.
Can't believe it. It's like a dream come true.
And for some, hitting the jackpot comes when they need it more than ever.
Him being so bad, so poor, down to $2.
What I got to lose, my life?
To have Ravens season tickets for life, it's the equivalent of winning $1 billion.
But what happens when fortune stirs up your worst nightmare?
I don't want you being kidnapped and held for ransom.
We're part of the lucky 7 that won $315 million in the California State Lottery. Woohoo!
Joyce Honori and Kate Wooten joined the ultra-rich when they won one of the largest lottery jackpots ever. They went from working 9 to 5 in a medical lab to living the good life in Orange County. Joyce was a lab technician.
I drew blood, worked in a medical facility, and my husband and I, we lived in a mobile home. We were just the regular run-of-the-mill people, not, you know, I wasn't making a whole lot of money.
Kate was a full-time architecture student doing receptionist work to pay the bills.
We weren't totally broke, but we were comfortable. I was making 17 bucks an hour, which I thought was a gold mine at 25, and, you know, it paid for the apartment.
But her marriage was on the rocks.
I said, you know, it's time. You can move out or I can move out.
On the day Kate decided to leave her husband, she went to work as usual at the clinic, where her friends had a regular lottery pool.
There were 7 of us all together, and there was one other was going to play, and she changed her mind.
One of them came out running and said, hey, you want to buy a lottery ticket? And I said, sure.
Then on November 15, 2005, Joyce and Kate got the surprise of their lives.
We checked the numbers, and they were all there. It's us. It's really us. And I called my husband, and I said to him, well, good morning, Mr. Millionaire. And he goes, what? What are you talking about? I said, I'm pretty sure we won the lottery.
Joyce and Kate and their 5 coworkers were dubbed the Lucky 7. They won $315 million in a Mega Millions jackpot, the largest jackpot in California history. After taxes, each player took home $20.2 million.
I just couldn't believe it. I just couldn't believe it. And I, you know, even now, we're still pinching ourselves.
The win changed everything.
A lot of money. I can't stress a lot enough.
With that record payout, Joyce, Kate, and their families had in mind nothing short of a life of luxury.
It went from 1 week worrying if I could pay tuition to school to the next not having to worry about anything.
Joyce and her husband, Ed, moved from their mobile home into a multi-million-dollar dream home.
Hi, come on in. Welcome to our house. As soon as we came here, I said, this is it, and he did too. And then we walked out in the yard and saw the yard, and that really convinced us that this was the house. We didn't have a yard. We had a driveway. That was it. Yeah, I think I could sit here all afternoon.
And there's accommodation for 2 brand new cars.
It's just wonderful to go out and buy whatever you want, although you have to kind of watch yourself, or otherwise you'll have too much stuff.
The 6,000-square-foot home has plenty of space to roam. Not only for Snickers the dog, but for Joyce's family.
My sisters came to visit, as all they kept doing was getting lost.
There are 5 bedrooms.
I call this the Queen's room. Having the lottery just entitled me to being the queen of my own bedrooms.
And the master bathroom's big enough for a party of 5.
This room here, I think, is probably every woman's dream. Over here, we have a jacuzzi tub and a shower over here that probably maybe 4 or 5 people could fit in.
But the big selling point? A very nicely lit closet.
This originally was a 5-bedroom house, but they took this room, one of the bedrooms, and made it into a closet. And it has a chandelier.
And because Joyce believes you can never have too much closet space.
I'm only going to give you a quick look. I have a few pairs of shoes. Having this is like having a fantasy. Who would ever thought? We just love this, don't we, Snickers? Don't we?
Kate has moved on from the emotional trauma of her marriage breakup and is following her dream.
It's a house I saw that I could grow into and not leave. I could be here forever and be totally happy.
Her new place is set on a hilltop with killer views of Orange County.
You can see a whole lot out here. You can look all the way across Orange County.
It's a perfect family home with 5 bedrooms and a few extras.
This right here is the sauna that I never ever use. I'd like to turn it into a shoe closet. As you can see, I have a lot of them, but that was vetoed.
Kate's bathroom is her refuge.
This is my fireplace where we like to turn it on during the wintertime, and my TV so that I can watch TV and watch the fireplace while I'm taking a bath. Yeah, it's my dream house. I love it. It's perfect in every way. You cannot get any better than this.
For one person, it was overkill, but Kate worked hard to fill it up. She renewed an old friendship that soon turned into something more.
Kate and I met at a country bar. We started up as friends, and we started dating a little after that. 6 to 8 months later, we just started dating on a full-time basis, then started living together.
Soon they were married and started a family. But Dan's very clear that Kate's lottery win had nothing to do with his courtship.
First thing me and her father discussed was if anything did happen, there's going to be a prenup. I get nothing. I don't want anything.
Dan says Kate's money is her money, and that's just fine with him.
She's not my sugar mama. There's times where I want something and I can't do it because, one, I don't have money and I won't go and ask her.
Maybe we should get a cover like that.
That would be cool.
It's a new start for Kate. She was once in an unhappy relationship, struggling to pay for college.
I've stayed away from this boat for the last 3 years because I've been pregnant and or seasick, and I did not want anything to do with it. What, you want to go drive too?
The lottery made Kate and Joyce queens of the OC. But it also brought lawsuits that threatened to take everything away.
At first, it really pissed me off. Like, I'm like, what the?
You're very concerned and worried that you would lose it.
Meet the multi-million-dollar winners who kept their night jobs, cleaning houses.
I'm bathroom lady.
How much do Americans spend on lottery and scratch-off tickets each year?
Today,
you don't have energy
levels and sexual problems.
Water leaks, drop it.
Glenn
Products.
Everly Well was there to help.
Continues tonight at 8 on TLC. How much do Americans spend on lottery and scratch-off tickets each year? On average, Americans spend $500 annually.
We're part of the lucky 7 that won $315 million in the California State Lottery. Woohoo!
Joyce Honori and Kate Wooten were part of the Lucky 7, a group of co-workers that won one of the largest jackpots in California lottery history.
The mega lottery was $315 million. So we knew we would get a nice chunk of change.
Each member of the pool walked away with $20.2 million.
That's a lot of money. It was absolutely mind-blowing to get that check in the mail.
Just as they were indulging in their newfound riches, Joyce and Kate were hit with legal troubles, big ones. A former co-worker was claiming a share in the Lucky 7 lottery pool.
I befriended this person. I felt like he was one of my children in a way, a co-worker that confided in me. I gave him advice and things and took him under my wing.
Joyce's friend sued for a big piece of the action, $39 million.
For him to do that, I thought that's so unethical. It's just so unethical.
To win the lawsuit, the challenger had to prove he played on a regular basis.
We had pretty much a year or 2 years worth of paperwork from the people that were playing. He said that he played all the time, and yet the paperwork that we had proved that he didn't.
Finally, after 1.5 years of argument, the case was dismissed because the paperwork proved he wasn't a regular pool player.
The judge finally told him, go away. Don't come back to my court.
While Joyce fought her court battles, Kate had legal troubles of her own. Her ex-husband was demanding all of her winnings, $20.2 million.
At first, it like really pissed me off. Like, I'm like, what the?
Although Kate left her husband the day she joined the pool, she was still legally married. The court's final decision to split the win 50-50.
The law's the law. I looked at it this way. Fine, here's your half. Now leave me alone. There was no need for bitterness because it was more money than I was ever gonna see in my entire life. So how was I gonna get greedy over something I couldn't control?
I guess that's where karma comes in because, you know, now he's completely broke. 2 years later, went through 10 million.
For Joyce, money has taken away something she can never replace. A lifelong friend who couldn't cope with Joyce's change in fortune.
So it was like going through a divorce. My closest friend, who I did everything with, went everywhere with, just felt that I was in a different place than she was. And it would hurt when she wouldn't take my calls. I've known her since kindergarten, so I miss her.
For Joyce and Kate, this huge win has brought a roller coaster of emotions.
Good to see you.
They've seen both sides of good fortune and found an appreciation for things that really count.
You literally find out who your real friends are.
We were happy with our lives the way they were. I think that makes a big difference when you win the lottery. So when we won, we really personally haven't changed that much. We have things now. We have expensive things now that we didn't have before.
I'm James Schwerup. I won $4.5 million in the Ontario lottery.
Before becoming millionaires 4 times over, the Schwerbs struggled to make ends meet.
In our family, there's 5 of us. I have 2 girls and 1 boy. Demand is there. Fashion, new shoes, new braces, just endless. And 1 paycheck didn't cut it.
Before my parents won, they used to work all the time. They were never really home.
Me and my wife had 2 jobs. During the day, I would drive truck from 7 o'clock to 5 p.m. My wife would be a nurse, RPN nurse, and then our night job would kick in about 8:30 to about 10:30 at night.
The Schwerbs night shift was a growing family business, cleaning rental properties.
Cleaning toilets, vacuuming, windows, and we did that 7 days a week.
You know, there'd be nights where I'd be crying when I went to sleep because by the time we get to bed, it was midnight, and then we'd be up at 5 again.
Well, we struggled.
In March of 2009, James decided that the family's daily grind needed a healthy dose of hope.
I thought, you know, I'm gonna try something just for that little bit of light.
James bought his lottery ticket as part of an online subscription to the Ontario Lottery's Lotto 649.
The numbers I chose were 4, 11, 13, 16, 41, and 45. The ages of my children, myself, and my wife, Wanda, and the other number would have been of my dog. It was a Thursday afternoon. I decided to go online to check my numbers. I punched them in, and it was saying winner. At first, I thought, oh, I made a mistake. There's got to be a mistake. By that time, my wife just walked into the door, and I said to her, "Wand, we won."
He was pale as a ghost, hands on his face, saying, "Oh my God, I think we won," and tears, and I said, "You're nuts."
The very first time James's numbers were played, he hit the jackpot.
Me and my mom were in the hall on the carpet, jumping up and down, holding hands.
That's when that's all I remember. I don't know if I went down or...
You went down.
Did I go down?
Knees, praising. You're like, oh my gosh, no more problems. You're hugging everyone.
I'm looking at my kids and I can't believe it's really happening. It's happened.
And with no taxes taken in Canada, he had a lot to be happy about.
The payment was 1 check for $4.5 million.
With cash in hand, James was revved up to spend it on all the things the family could never afford before.
This is my wife's 2010 370Z. This has always been her dream car to buy. She is ecstatic every time she drives this car. Now we'll move to mine. the muscle car of the year, 2009 Corvette ZR1. 800 in production, 638 horsepower. This would tear your skin off. Purchase price was $150,000 US. This is a man's dream of a car to be driving, and I've always wanted one, and I did get one. If it wasn't for the lottery, I would have never be able to afford a car of this caliber.
And this speed freak had to conquer the Great Lakes, too.
I ended up buying a 28-foot cruiser, kind of like a race boat cruiser.
With our family, we come out here quite often on Lake Ontario. So we can take more family on it and enjoy longer days on the lake.
I was originally with an 18-foot bow rider. Now I've graduated to captain from a skipper.
And James took the helm with his family vacation plans, too. Captain Jim paid for 17 family members to travel back to where it all began, in Malta.
Malta is my parents' native land, and if it wasn't for the lottery winnings, I would have never been able to take my kids and show them where I live. Plus 17 family members with us.
For Wanda, some of the lottery winnings were meant to be worn.
James bought me this tag watch, which I always wanted, and it cost $5,000. And he also bought me my engagement ring because 12 years ago I had lost my first engagement ring. I also got this diamond tennis bracelet and this ring, and I'm still waiting for my diamond crucifix.
Once Wanda had her bling, James decided the Schwarbs needed a place to enjoy the simple life.
I have 75 acres. There's a house, 5,000 square feet, a barn, and a trail that I've recently started cutting through the forest to have for my ATVs. It's a nice place for us to come out, unwind, just get away from the fast-paced and relax.
While the country house was sweet, the family's main residence needed a makeover. Instead of moving on up to a fancier address, the Schwarbs decided to stay put and upgrade the house they had always lived in.
We renovated the kitchen, living room, basement, landscaping. We have the opportunity to move, but we love where we live, and this is our home, this is our roots. We don't want to leave them.
But not long after their win, the Schwarbs' home became the scene of a frightening experience.
Somebody was peeking through the basement window at 1 a.m.
Had news of the win jeopardized James's kids?
I don't want you being kidnapped and held for ransom because I have money.
Hang on to those losing lottery tickets. They could mean a second chance at $1 million win.
Depend keeps you drier than ever.
And in Vraylar, increased appetite.
Bystanders.
I remember seeing the black and $5 million.
I'm the third wheel now.
Seeking Sister Wife, tonight at 9 on TLC.
I'm James Schwarb. I won $4.5 million in the Ontario lottery.
When James Schwarb hit a multi-million-dollar jackpot, his family's world turned upside down.
I won $4.5 million, and I feel great about it.
But soon after the win, they were struck with fear.
It was fairly late. I had the lights off, and I see two legs. They're standing right in the middle.
I remember seeing the black pants and him bending down at 1:15 in the morning. That's when reality sank in, that we are becoming prey of our winnings. In your mind, you say, if I didn't have this money, I wouldn't feel this way.
James didn't wait a single day to take action to keep the prowler from ever coming back to harm his children.
The next day, I installed surveillance cameras through my whole house, just to have that peace of mind saying my family's safe. The camera systems are sequenced through the whole circumference of the house, monitoring at 24 hours a day, recording 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Where you see the squares flashing, that's where motion is being detected and it's being recorded. The harsh reality of being a lottery winner, everybody wants a piece of the pie. It's part of the negative energy that comes with winning the lottery.
But James didn't let the negative energy slow him down. Instead, this workaholic millionaire threw himself into running the family cleaning business.
Watch the fingerprints there, right? We gotta make sure those front windows, see, that we clean them. And the door for sure. Yeah.
We were told, you are millionaires, why are you still working? This is where my roots started, and I do not want to lose my roots, and I enjoy doing this kind of work.
I still go out there and clean because I enjoy doing it. Oh, I usually do a lot of the dusting in this model home, and I'm bathroom lady.
Work hard, play hard. That's the Schwerb way.
To me, it's more of a relief now. It's a relief. There's not as many worries like we used to have.
I did win the lottery. It did sink in, but it's my responsibility now to make it last. So, are we going out for supper?
Yeah.
Who's buying?
You.
As the saying goes, one man's trash is another man's treasure. Your losing scratch-off ticket could be worth big bucks. 43 state lotteries now offer a second chance to hit the jackpot. And the odds are even better the second time around. Hundreds of millions of dollars in cash and prizes are given out to non-winning tickets each year. And the Maryland Lottery is about to award the winner of their ultimate payday scratch-off.
We have over 50 different scratch-offs in at a given time, and a lot of those scratch-offs, we have second chance contests. In this case, I'll show you this shiny, pretty $20 ticket. It's got a top prize drawing. So if they reveal the top prize drawing symbol, they mail it in, and then we pick a winner from that selection. And that's it. And then a lot of luck and a lot of waiting.
And this lucky lady is about to find out that sending in her losing ticket was worth some serious cha-ching.
We didn't want to tell her exactly what she won over the phone because that would miss the whole excitement of the moments.
When I spoke to her on the phone, and then that's when I, told her that, she was just a finalist, and to make sure she come in, make sure.
Who knows what'll happen? She could yell, she could scream, she could cry. She may just be in shock. You never know.
I opened that door and I saw all these cameras. I just could not believe it. Could not believe it.
Oh, God, it's so good. I can't believe this. Oh, my gosh.
How does it feel to win $1 million?
Oh, my gosh, you just don't know. Oh, my gosh, I'm sorry, guys. Get myself here. Bad hair day, everything. Wow.
That's all yours.
Oh, yes.
What are you going to do with the money?
Well, I have a son that's disabled, and I have a son that's on his way to college. So I'm going to put my son through college, if the Lord's willing, and take care of my son, James, with all the special needs that he has. Aunt Dot. What? Guess what? What? What you think?
You what? Hey, yeah, baby!
You could say, by sending in her ticket, Paula won a second chance for her family.
When I reach home, I'm gonna go in the room and I'm gonna kiss James and tell him that Mommy can really take good care of you now.
The nice part of the job is that we do produce a lot of very happy winners, and we like that.
I'm Paula Evans, and I just won $1 million from the Maryland Lottery.
A Baltimore, Maryland family faces their worst nightmare.
She had went into a cardiac arrest and died for 20 minutes.
Now, a gift from the lottery brings back some joy.
It just fills my heart that they're so happy. It's priceless.
How many lottery prizes go unclaimed every year?
Keeps you drier than ever. So
your favorite product.
12%.
Single Life Tell-All continues tonight at 8 on TLC.
How many lottery prizes go unclaimed every year? 12%. More than 500 million in lottery prizes go unclaimed every year. Baltimore, Maryland. Here, the 2001 Super Bowl champ stadium dominates the skyline, and the faithful bleed purple and black.
Ravens fans are hardcore fans, and they will do anything related to the Ravens in town.
And Kimberly Feather's family may be the biggest Ravens fans of all.
Every Sunday it was a ritual. The game was on, and everything went down in the house. We had to watch the game. They all go get into their gear, their Ravens jerseys, pajama pants, blankets, and pillows.
Every Sunday brings us together as a family, and it feels really good.
Thank you.
But one family member is now missing from Sunday games. 5 years ago, Kim's oldest daughter, Nikki, suffered from mysterious stomach pains.
They were treating her for the wrong thing. She had a bowel blockage, and it was something that she could have been in and out of the hospital in 3 days, but they didn't detect it. She had went into a cardiac arrest and died for 20 minutes, and that left her brain damaged, paralyzed from the neck down.
Although Nikki could acknowledge and understand what was being said to her, she couldn't speak and lost all motor skills. Nikki needed round-the-clock care.
Little Jamie watched her 2 hours at night so I could go to the grocery store. Hannah played in her room, read to her, sang to her.
Sharing Sunday's Ravens games was more than just a pastime, but a welcomed break from real life.
You know, that was some of the happiness that came, because on Sunday, everybody was watching that game, and Nikki knew what was going on.
The excitement in the house is there. When they make that touchdown, I get butterflies in my stomach.
You have to explain, Nikki, they just got a touchdown, or Nikki, they did this. At least every Sunday we had that to look forward to.
In July 2009, Nikki's health took a turn for the worse, and the Feathers brought her to the emergency room.
She just couldn't last any longer. So they just unhooked the ventilator, and she died right away.
To move forward for something like that, it's just one step at a time, every day.
She was really special to every one of us, and we loved her.
Kim wanted to bring some joy back into her family's lives. When Jamie told her about the Maryland Lottery scratch game, the Ravens Cash Fantasy, she knew that was it.
And I said, I'm on a mission. I'm going to get those tickets for you guys.
The tickets offered a chance at a prize that was made for the Feather family. Lifetime season tickets to the Baltimore Ravens. Kim played the game for 5 months, and then Snowpocalypse 2010. The bustle of the Baltimore, D.C. area was frozen under 35 inches of snow. After a week of being trapped at home, Kim Feather made a desperate grocery run.
And we were running low on food. I finally got out of here for a few minutes, and it wasn't even 10 minutes, and they started calling me.
But the last thing on Kim's mind was talking on the phone.
I just hit the button the first time and ignored it. Then they called me back, and they said, you won the lottery. Little Jamie says, Mom, I swear to God, you won the lottery.
When Kim returned home, she got the official word.
I won the grand prize. I won Ravens season tickets for life.
Kim's win granted her 2 club-level seats and VIP perks for 20 years, a prize package worth $150,000.
This is the way I come to get to my seat.
This is the way you'll be coming to get to your seats every Sunday.
I've never been, and this is, I'm sure, first class. I'm walking on carpet, not concrete.
You know, I've been a fan of the Ravens since a teenager, and I've never once been in the club level.
It may not seem like much to some, but for the Feather family, it was as good as winning a cash jackpot.
To have Ravens season tickets for life. It's the equivalent of winning $1 billion.
It's priceless. The day after I won the tickets, I was offered $100,000 for those tickets. I said, no way. I wouldn't even consider it. No way.
Season tickets alone are nearly impossible to get. There's a 30-year waiting list.
If we would have went to an old game, we would be sitting all the way up top. And now we're sitting here for the next 20 years. Then we were invited to the training camp.
You might say the feathers have landed in the Ravens' nest and are welcomed.
You guys won the lottery, huh? Nice to meet you.
John Harbaugh, the coach.
Are you going to come to all those games, every one of them?
No, I have to share.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, I have kids.
Oh, okay.
Joe Flacco, Ray Rice, Derek Mason.
Season tickets for life, goodness gracious.
And Michael Orr. People would know who Michael Orr is because of the movie Blindside. It was a movie about his life that was starring Sandra Bullock. And I have a picture, the press took a picture of Ray Rice taking my picture with Joe Flacco. It gets any better than that.
In the end, Kim believes the season tickets win was a parting gift from Nikki.
I think Nikki wanted to make us happy and have something happen in our life, and it did.
I can't believe it. I never thought I'd be out here. It's like a dream come true.
It fills my heart that they're so happy. Just to see them out there playing around and enjoying themselves is priceless.
An Illinois man on the edge of despair places his bet on the lottery.
When you don't take a shower like I didn't do for 9 months, you feel like down in the ground. What I got to lose, my life?
Boring.
Why did I keep...
This is the first time
When you feel special, $500 million.
Now. Seeking Sister Wife, tonight at 9 on TLC.
I'm James Gatsky. I won $5.5 million in the Illinois State Lottery.
Winning the lottery gave James Gatsky a second chance at life, something he doesn't take for granted.
Every day, I like to wear a suit because I like to feel special. When you feel special and you clean up, you feel important. When you don't take a shower like I didn't do for 9 months, you feel like down in the ground. You feel like it's your time to go. And now I feel special every day.
James had always been a simple man and somewhat eccentric. A guy who seemed to enjoy the company of cats over people.
The simple things that makes you happy. It's not the big things like a big car or a big house. You don't need it all.
J.R. Bramlett, owner of a local towing company, knew James as a child.
He used to live like on the same block. He was one of the best basketball players at Eisenhower High School. He could make those three-pointers. He played good. And he was a smart, brilliant guy, really.
Over the years, J.R. lost touch with James. He later learned that James, who had always been very attached to his parents, just fell apart when he lost them both.
I guess he lost his mother first. So a little depression, and had a few years went by, and then his dad passed away, and then he went in deep depression, and he just lost it.
By 2003, James was unemployed, broke, and about to lose the only home he had ever known, one he shared with a herd of stray cats. He spent his days walking the streets.
I was down to the near end because I didn't know if the next day is going to be bright or not. If I didn't make no money, I couldn't eat and I couldn't feed my cats and all like that.
Depressed and alone, James could think of only one way out.
Later on, he told me he was going to commit suicide and go home and have dinner with his mom and dad at Christmas.
I had some suicidal thoughts because I don't know how long this is going to last because it was getting cold. And I figured, well, you didn't have nothing to look forward to. There's always a better life ahead of you after leaving this earth.
Down to his last $3, James put his money on the Illinois Pick 6 lottery. James's picks for the lottery were very personal.
6 numbers I chose was 5, January 5th, that's my birthday. 9 is when my parents are born. 11th, the day my father was born. 22, Mike Pryor, jersey number of the Chicago Cubs. 31 calendar days in the month in January, and 44 of my age.
Later that night, sitting in his freezing house, he turned on the television to see what the winning numbers were.
And now it's time for Lotto and tonight's Lotto Grand Prize Jackpot. Here's tonight's first winning number. It's 5.
They came up that night, and I was real excited.
James won $5.5 million when he needed it most. He literally went from rags to riches.
That night, I couldn't even sleep at all because now I'm getting a big break that I needed.
He tried to cash in his winning ticket at 3 different places, but in his disheveled state, no one would serve him.
And at first, I wish I would have never won it because there's a lot of aggravation trying to get the ticket cashed.
Almost ready to give up, James decided to reach out to his old childhood friend, JR.
He comes walking up to me. I said, "Hi, James." "Hi." He said, "How you doing?" He said, "I ain't doing good." He got a problem.
I need a lawyer. Won the lottery down the street, and I need a little help.
I said, "You won that lottery?"
Won that big lottery. Yeah.
I said, "Wow." I said, "Man, you ain't got no more damn problems."
James Gatsky may have won big, but he's not exactly living the high life.
I live in a motel because I enjoy it because it's nice and simple.
He is the motel millionaire.
What racks up more revenues? Lotteries or movies?
Depend keeps you drier than ever, so you can say yes to more than ever.
Yes.
Bipolar, port fever, told me they're
Increased risk of HVAC checked.
I guess I'm the third.
On average, lotteries make 6 times as much money as the movies.
I'm James Gatsky. I won $5.5 million in the Illinois State Lottery.
James won $5.5 million when he was practically homeless. In such bad shape, he needed the help of his old friend to cash in the ticket.
When he did, he tells me about all this stuff they were giving him a rough time by collecting his money. And I said, I can take care of that.
JR helped James collect his winnings, taking it as a $211,000 yearly check for the next 26 years.
You're all excited because it's like hitting a home run in a late inning game for the championship. That's what it was like.
After being down to his last dollar, and now with hundreds of thousands in the bank, you'd think he'd go out and spend, but not James.
I don't have no cell phone because I don't like people bothering me. Yes, JR, this is James. How you doing today? Have you seen And no computer.
Instead of moving into a mansion, James prefers more modest accommodations.
I live in a motel because I enjoy it because it's nice and simple. Hey, what's up, Dan?
Oh, not a whole lot. What you up to today?
I gotta pay my rent.
Okay.
The monthly bill, $1,000.
The thing with James Gatsky is he's real simple. I mean, what he is, when you're talking to him, that's what he is in every aspect of his life. He is the motel millionaire. He doesn't need anything else. That's it for him.
This is my place. And here's the bed that I like to lay on when I watch my TV. And this is my radio, which I like to listen to when the Blackhawks play. My microwave, which I seldom ever use because I like to eat out a lot. Refrigerator, it's a small refrigerator. A couple chairs I have for my company. You don't need too much more. You don't need too much more. I like to try to live simple. The easiest, always the best.
He does afford himself one luxury, spending $140 a week on eating out.
Yeah, I'm gonna have 2 orders of duck, please, with French fries, and you can bring me another Coke.
It's pretty good there, James.
Oh, yeah. Let's eat.
Okay, fired up there.
Usually, when I eat, I usually order 2. Like if I have 2 ducks, I usually have 1 duck for me and 1 for the cats, and all like that. Or if I have 2 steaks, 1 for me and 1 for the cats.
Now James shares his good fortune with a herd of stray cats that he moved from his old house to JR's towing lot.
Yeah, I feed the cats good every night. They was there when I was down and out, and they comfort me. They were real nice.
James's win gave him a new lease on life, but there's one big issue he still hasn't figured out: how to manage his cash. He keeps most of it in the bank, and now he's planning for his future with the help of his buddy, JR.
You're getting started on some money, putting some money away. Like I told you, when you first won the lottery, it's time we're going to have to deal with it. So you're going to have to get serious. You're going to have to get a program here, and you can do it in CDs. Yeah. Are we on the same page?
Yeah, we're on the same page, because I know what you're talking about, because if you don't put no money away, when it comes to a rainy day, you won't have no money. You'll be underneath the bridge.
But James has little reason to worry. He's already received $1,326,000 in pre-tax income over the past 6 years, and he still has 20 years of annual checks to count on. That's a total of $4,420,000 in pre-tax payments to come. From just barely getting by to living life on his own terms.
I had to enjoy the new life, because a lot of people don't get 2 lives. I was lucky, fortunate, I got 2 lives.
From being totally alone to having a whole new family.
What you been feeding them cats lately?
Steak and fried chicken.
The lottery has certainly changed things for James Gatsky.
I just gotta be surrounded by my cats and a friend like JR. That's all you need in life. I live every day like it's the last.
When you win the lottery, your destiny's a gamble. The payoff can make your biggest wishes realized. But some things never change. James Schwarb is still the workaholic millionaire, now in the thick of another business venture, a new pizza business, and the entire family's involved.
He wants us to know the meaning of a dollar and how hard it is to work for it.
The Feather family is already cheering their team from their club-level seats and loving the VIP access that comes with NFL season tickets for life. And one mansion isn't enough for Joyce Honori and her husband Ed. To escape the California winters, they bought a 3,000 square foot home in sunny Florida.
You like that, huh?
When your number comes up, get ready for the ride of your life.